Okay, so here's one just for the in between. Maybe if I have an off day and can't get to upload or can't find the right time or right privacy, I'm just gonna throw one of these out there, like a little filler thing, so I don't miss a day. I really want to make sure I don't miss a day. I almost did, but I fought through that urge to not keep going. Anyway, I guess I'm just gonna take a few minutes to talk about my writing process. I'm a writer. I write poetry, songs, short stories. I just write things. I don't really put titles on them. I've written, I guess, an album and a half that I'm probably gonna have published eventually as just a book of short pieces, and then maybe later after I kind of figure out music a little bit more, I'll do that. Make it an actual concrete uh, album, or should I say mixtape? Whatever. It's not raps. I don't write raps. That they somebody told someone else that I rap, and it was the weirdest thing ever. Cause I don't. I've never rapped. Um, I've never. I've never told anyone that. I don't know who. If it was just an assumption, but no, I don't. That's not the type of writing I do. I I can't do that actively. Those things have to like come in my head naturally, which is actually how my writing process goes for the most part when it comes to like a song or a poem. It's more so uh, reflecting on an experience and having it flow out in a sense of, I guess, a cohesive work of art that I might not necessarily have the time or effort. I'm sorry, not time. Yes, time. Time or energy. There we go. To put into a drawing or a painting. Painting is so exhausting. But yeah, so it's more understanding my emotions or creating a capsule of my mindset during a certain experience and realizing that on paper, making it legitimate, making it tangible. I do like the idea of keeping things I write to myself, but I also understand that sometimes uh, there's an appreciation, yeah, an appreciation that other people have for, uh, I guess, a limited time entry into someone else's mind. So I don't mind sharing a bit. I've shared work with several people in my life. Um, Sometimes we've used it to bond, and honestly, sometimes it's helped drive a wedge between someone and I because of my writing. My writing tends to be, I'm not gonna say melancholy. I don't like to attach a negative emotion to my art, but just from a place of reflection mostly. A place of not even hindsight. I don't think I'm blinded by most things as they occur. I think I have a pretty decent understanding so far. Or I do at this exact moment. I'm remembering this is later down the line. Man, hopefully one day I'm gonna have enough of these to actually go back like to my mindset a year from the current day and just reflect on myself. Man, do I want to start watching him? I said I was, but I don't know. I'm really excited to see how different I'm gonna feel and think about things a month from now, and just come back to this moment and see. But that's a whole video in itself. So yeah, my writing process. I tend to write very consciously. I don't like to use uh, filler phrases or words in my writing. I like everything to mean something, back to back to back to back to back, right? Even if it doesn't rhyme, which it usually doesn't. It usually has a nice uh, direction that it tends to follow, but I'm not really big on rhyme. If it happens, it happens, but it's not the goal. What's more important to me is the message. And also the duality in my writing, I feel is a priority because I'm in love with perspective. So I like to be able to write something and have it mean multiple things. So kind of like a double entendre, but more so creating a mirror image of, I mean, obviously I have a thing for mirrors, but creating a mirror image in my writing. So being able to say one thing and have it be reflected back onto the speaker. For example, and something I wrote the other day, my validation is no longer yours to seek. So that could mean that my validation is no longer yours to seek. So my approval is no longer for you. So I'm no longer your source of validation. I'm no longer your source of security. I can be that for someone else. I can be that for myself because I no longer have that tie with you. But we can also say that in duality, that my validation is no longer yours to seek, meaning that my opinion of you, my feelings for you, are no longer as weighted as they would be. I no longer have the right to have such a heavy opinion. I no longer have the right to try to attempt to validate you through my words or through my feelings. So just little things like that. I like to be able to write something and have it be flipped back onto myself or back onto the speaker, because it's not always directly me in my writing. Sometimes it's just a different mindset that I can tap into that kind of exists in my head. So yeah, there's that. There's the also, it takes me a long time to finish something. Usually, it usually takes me a long time to finish something, but a short time to write it, if that makes sense. So it'll take me a long time to get the full idea and concept together. So maybe 6 months to write one poem, right? But in terms of physically writing, I'll write for maybe 4 hours in a time span of, I'm going to say 8 hours. 8 hours in a time span of 6 months, because it takes me like 2 hours one night and then I won't pick it up again for like 2 weeks, you know? So things flow very naturally when they do flow, but if there's no stream in my head, I just create a mess. I don't like that. I don't like diluted work. I was trying, what's an antonym for clear? I don't want to use muddy. I'm gonna have to look that up. But yeah, so just a short little insight on my writing process. I guess the main focus for myself in writing is creating titles that represent real meaning, creating duality and understanding perspective, and capturing genuine emotion. I don't like to lie in life. I don't like to lie in my writing. I do hold myself back a lot. I tend not to use profanity, simply because I feel like there's always a better way to say things. And I also feel like it dilutes the message sometimes. Because, we tend to use those words as replacements for productive speech in terms of reflecting our emotions. So if I say F you, there's more to that. Like, I'm really trying to communicate, you've hurt me, or I feel threatened by you. It's a whole thing I can get into. I'm probably gonna write something about it and then make a video. But yeah, so this is just a little filler for an off day. Schedule's gonna get pretty busy soon. Inflection or pronunciation? Doesn't matter. This is over. This is it. Because otherwise, this is gonna be 30 minutes of me just talking about things I've written. I might do another one, maybe on the same thing. But yeah, just something to keep in the tuck. And I'm still not doing an outro.